Hey folks, Professor Gray here, ready to talk to you about interpreting confidence intervals. In the correct interpretation of a confidence interval, the level of confidence or confidence level refers to the success rate of the process being used to estimate the parameter. So how often will this process be successful in actually containing the parameter that we're trying to estimate, whether it's a population mean or proportion? Well, to interpret a confidence interval, one way we can do that is by using the template on this slide. We are blank % confident that the mean or proportion, depending on the problem, related back to the problem is between the lower bound and the upper bound. Here's an example of that using a problem from earlier. Again, in a study of 1,228 randomly selected medical malpractice lawsuits, it's found that 856 of them were later dropped or dismissed. Earlier on, we found the confidence interval for that particular scenario, confidence interval for the population proportion. To interpret that 99% confidence interval, we would say something like this. We are 99% confident that the proportion of dropped or dismissed medical malpractice lawsuits is between 0.6633 and 0.7309. Again, we are 99% confident, because 99% is the confidence level, that the proportion, because we're finding a proportion confidence interval, of dropped or dismissed medical malpractice lawsuits that relates the problem, or relates the interpretation back to the problem and puts it in context, is between the lower number 0.6633 and the upper number 0.7309. If you use this template and variations of it to interpret confidence intervals, you will interpret them correctly every time. Just be sure that you include the parts that are missing, and be sure that you relate the interpretation back to the original problem.